If you're in charge, it's the best situation in the entire world, Daniel. You get to call your shots. You get to bring in the people you want. And what if I was telling you that Kirby has been doing that?
Where have you been in charge before? None of that is the case in any of the places.
As I hear other people tell me.
As people say, the people are talking. Yeah.
Kirby's in charge. And he's bringing in every recruit he wants, all the coaches he wants, and he places them in position he wants. Now, we're looking ahead to the recruits that he's brought in, not the ones that have been drafted at a record clip, but the ones that will be drafted at an absolute epic clip. That's next on Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Thanks so much for being here. Today's episode brought to you by the fine folks over at FanDuel Sportsbook. More on them in a second. He's Clint. I'm Daniel. This is the Locked On Bulldogs podcast, and boy, are we excited to have you here. Clint found it. If you're watching on YouTube, then you see that he found it, and if you're listening on audio, thank you so much for joining us today. Spotify, Stitcher Radio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast, Locked On Bulldogs is happy to be your first listen of every day. Happy to be in the rotation. Thanks so much to the 199 and to all of you who support this pod. Tell your friends about the pod, have made this show possible. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel and leave us a comment, rating, review on there as well. That helps us out. Clint, the draft is over. Yes. And, boy, people love the NFL draft. I mean, I talk to people, and they just get fired up about the NFL draft.
If you're a listener, this is a sincere thing. If you're listening to this podcast and you went to Kansas City for the draft, I'm
so glad you're bringing this up. I'm so glad you're bringing this up.
To DM me on Twitter and tell me what the benefit, not
why.
It's the benefit as opposed to me sitting on my couch or on my phone receiving the updates. What event took place that you had to be there to witness? I need to know.
We did not talk about this before. We barely talked this weekend as the draft was happening. I was out of town. You had stuff going on. It's not like we were texting back and forth.
No.
The whole time I'm watching this thing and seeing these people, number one, you can't convince me that those were not paid actors dressed up as fans for teams. Paid actors, Clint.
Caricature were all the fans of all the teams. They were caricatures of what you think of.
And they were so evenly distributed amongst different fan bases. There were like 12 of every fan base.
Yes.
There. Secondly, the whole time I'm watching, I'm thinking, why?
Why?
Why would anyone go to this thing? Now, the draft was in Nashville a few years ago, and it was outside, and it was on Broadway.
It was rainy and cold.
And they just wall-to-wall people. I know people that went down there just to witness the spectacle of that many people crammed into the street.
In Twitter, tell us why. We need to get to, so we don't understand, but we need to get to next year's draft at Georgia. We're going to talk about who the best players on the draft that might go top 10, how many dogs might get drafted.
All.
If you want to get paid in the NFL, come to Georgia. And then some other last thoughts. Daniel, I'm going to run down the list of eligible players.
Okay, this will be good.
This is, holy jeez. Brock
Buckle
Bowers,
up.
Bullard, Van Pran, Lassiter, Smile Mondon, Mims, Stackhouse, Truss, Sorey, Lovett, Michael Morris, Kendall Milton, Tate Ratledge, Brock, but he's not going anywhere. Carson Beck, Dylan Fairchild, Nyland Green. A couple guys are still on this list that have gone elsewhere. Ra Thomas, Arian Smith, Zion Logue. This is the list of draft eligible UGA players next year.
Okay. Now, we obviously don't know if some of those juniors are going to declare. We don't know. We're not looking into the future or whatever.
Who knows? I want to know surefire first rounders, not could go or have a high likelihood. I want
Talking about bet your house first rounders.
give me units over at FanDuel. Bet your house they're going first round.
Okay. Brock Bowers has got to be like not minus 10,000 for the first round. Like if you were to make the bet, it's got to be juiced to like minus 10,000. Like there's literally not a world where he doesn't get drafted in the first round.
He goes play one of the season and he only plays one play and then something happens and he's getting drafted in the first round. Guaranteed right now. Okay.
Surefire first rounders.
Surefire. Right now, today, we haven't seen the season take place. So today, surefire. Then we're gonna change the question: who could become that if the season goes how we want to?
It's interesting, Clint. It's an interesting situation.
Come on now.
I don't know that there are any other surefire first rounders on this.
Today, there's not. It's Brock. He's one of one as of today.
Now, there won't be one Georgia Bulldog drafted in the first round. Don't misunderstand what we're saying. We're not saying one Georgia Bulldog is going to be drafted in the first round. But this is not – there are no bet your house first rounders.
It's Brock.
Okay? This past year, who were the bet your house first rounders for Georgia going into the season?
Jalen Carter.
Yep. End of list. There was only one.
I could make an argument Broderick could have been number 2. But
you could make that argument for Amarius Mims this year, but you never would.
Thank you.
Because
I wouldn't actually sign the ticket at the end of the day.
No, you never would. Okay. So now we're going to transition to players that we think have a good chance to go in the first round.
Yes.
I'm going to start with my first one.
Okay.
And that's JDJ.
Ooh.
Clint. I really think this man is... Now, I understand that he's not going to necessarily test through the roof. And the NFL is filled with idiots.
Yes.
All these things are important to note. But JDJ is going to be the best linebacker in the SEC.
Yep.
This year. He's going to play for another national championship contending team this year. And I see every likelihood that it's just like we can't not draft this guy. Look at what he's done.
Yes.
He's the prototypical Georgia inside linebacker. So that's my first.
It's not particularly. I think as well. My first, that who I'm going with, and could vault himself if we have the season we want to. If Carson Beck comes out and does what we think he's going to do, I'm telling you all right now, he's a top 3 quarterback in this draft. If he does everything that we expect him to do in this offense with that arm, he will go in the top 20 and he will probably go in the top 10 if things go accordingly. And if that's the case, as we've seen if you're in the top 20 of quarterbacks, top 10 picks, you're going to be taken in the top 3 just because of the premier value on quarterbacks.
I mean, this is an interesting quarterback class, right? You got going into the season.
Yeah.
If you were to play this game with quarterbacks, not Georgia players, and you were to say, who are you going to bet your house is going to be a first rounder?
Yep.
It's Caleb Williams and Drake May. Those are the 2 bet your house first round quarterbacks.
I mean, I can get odds right now, it's the stupidest thing in the entire world. I mean, Sanders is the 3rd ranked quarterback right now. Y'all. Please.
Y'all.
Okay.
Drake May and Caleb Williams. You're telling me that Carson Beck can't get himself to 3rd on that list?
Oh, he's getting himself to 3rd. I'll tell you what right now. Like I'm telling y'all right now. That's what's going to happen. Okay. Any other names? Or should we save the names for the second segment, Daniel?
Let's parlay it over to the second segment.
But first one,
speaking of parlays, you see what we did there?
Speaking of parlays, get on over to FanDuel right now and make your parlay. What parlay do you want to make, you say? I don't know. How many times LeBron James can whine about a foul? How many times the Lakers can
Over.
blow a lead?
Over.
How many times that I would smile with LeBron missing game-winning shots? All these things
Take
take
the
the
over.
over on.
Yeah.
You can make a parlay.
Ronald
over.
Acuna stolen bases. Also take the over.
I said 40 to begin the season. That was a stupid thing.
You're not thinking clearly.
I wasn't. FanDuel.com/lockedon is the place that you're going to go. It's the official sports book of Locked On Bulldogs and Locked On Podcasts everywhere. And right now they have a no sweat first bet. That means if you make a bet as a first time FanDuel client and you lose that first bet, they're going to give you up to $1,000 in bonus bets straight to your account for not cashing in on that first time. FanDuel.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, Clint. We're back. We're talking potential first rounders on this roster. Let me just run through some names and let me just ask you.
Okay.
Can they be a first rounder? I don't even need
it.
a percentage chance.
No, can they?
Can
Yes or
they?
no? Rotten Tomatoes, thumbs up, thumbs down. Like it.
Kendall Milton.
No.
I want to disagree, but I don't think I will.
He's not going to get the volume of carries necessary to make that first round. Second round, absolutely. First round, no, not a chance.
Zion Logue.
No.
I agree. Warren Brinson.
No.
Kamari Lassiter.
Yes.
Smile Mondon.
Yes.
Nazir Stackhouse.
Ooh. That's a really hard one. Daniel, that's a really hard one.
I thought that one would be a tough one.
He could have a Devontae Wyatt-esque ascent this year.
I actually think that's Warren Brinson. I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say that the answer to Warren Brinson is yes.
He could.
I mean, I've told you, I've been on this for a while. I'm going to keep saying it. It is going to be my take of this offseason. I think Warren Brinson is going to have a monster year. I think he's going to have a Devontae Wyatt type season, and I think there's a chance he could find himself in the first round.
Okay.
Dominic Lovett or Arian Smith?
No.
No and no?
No and no.
Wow. Javon Bullard?
Yes.
Oh. That one surprises me.
Yes.
Make a case for Javon Bullard going in the first round.
He is exactly what the NFL covets now in cover safeties.
Guys, they do have a bunch of wide receivers from Ohio State in the NFL, and
so
everybody knows that if you don't want them to catch the ball, put Javon Bullard near them, and they'll just pee down their leg instead.
Right now, there is a yacht full of screaming, angry, half-dressed men yelling. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know.
You're not saying you can't confirm or deny if you've received an invite to said yacht.
I can confirm I have not. That is a definite truth.
Amarius Mims.
Yes, he could. He has the talent. He has the size.
Absolutely, he has the talent. Tate Ratledge.
No.
I wanted you to say yes, though.
I'm sure you did.
Did that factor in?
No.
Lad McConkey.
Look. Just give me some room.
Everybody, give the man a wide berth. Give the man some room.
C was angry that day, my friends. No, he doesn't. But does he have the chance to become an all-pro wide receiver? Yes, he does.
Yeah, I don't know that you can get first round grade on Lad McConkey.
No, you can't.
But he's got a chance to be one of the all-time great wide receivers in Georgia history. I'll tell you that.
Certainly
this
does.
Year.
Xavier Truss.
I was going to mention Xavier Truss. I still say no. I don't think an interior offensive lineman has a chance to go in the first round from Georgia. I would agree with you there. Nyland Green?
No,
but he could.
He
could.
No.
Anybody else that I'm missing here? Any other
No, I
possibilities?
think that is everybody. Oh, sorry. I think Sorry comes back. I don't think he goes. He's not getting enough playing time. I don't think. Same with Micah Morris. I think he does not take that.
What if we were to play this game with the true sophomores and the true freshmen? Clint.
Okay.
Do they have a chance to be in the first round? Just real quick. We're going to come back third segment. We're going to talk about, some other players who are draft eligible this year. But just real quick, is there a possibility that this player is drafted in the first round? Are you ready?
Dude, I'm ready. Hold on.
I'm ready. Lightning round. Here we go. Ready. Oscar Delp.
Yes.
Marvin Jones.
Yes.
Michael Williams.
Yes.
Darius Smith.
Yes.
Branson Robinson.
No.
No? That's a lie. Malachi Starks.
Yes.
Smoke Bowie.
No.
Dylan Bell.
No.
Ooh. Andrew Paul.
No.
Gunnar Stockton.
Yes.
CJ Washington. Marcus Washington.
No. Singletary.
Oh, Christian Miller.
Oh, Singletary's gone.
Christian Miller. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Ernest Green.
No.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
The answer is no.
The answer is definitely yes.
Okay.
Ernest Green might be the best tackle on this year's team.
Dalen Everett.
No. AJ Harris, though? Yes.
Yes.
Ravar Thomas.
Yes.
Raylan Wilson.
No.
Aguero.
Yeah.
Impemba.
Oh, in the list. Yes.
CJ Allen.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm all hopped up on spring game now.
We're all in. Just yes to everyone else. Look, there's a lot of talent on this team. That's the only point I'm trying to make. That's the point, people. It's a lot of talented kids.
We're going to come back after this with more right after these words. Talented kids, you called them.
They are. They are.
Well, they're more of a man than you and I are put together. So
that's not a lie. No lies detected.
No, not. Then who could see? Now we've talked about who can be in the top 10. We've talked about who can go in the first round. Talked about how insanely talented we are. We're going to be shattering records. Just so you're all fully know, just go ahead and take that same energy. 25 is the number, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Of record. Apply it to next year, and we're going to break our own record next year. Okay.
Yep.
I think 15 drafted next year is a high possibility with this team.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know that many. I don't know they can get that many in, but maybe.
I think we're going to have. I think there's going to be more in rounds 2 and 3 next year than we've had before. I think that's where the meat of this team is. And if guys hit, but again, as to your point, the year after that, now you want to make that same bet with me the year after that, because that's going to be freakish.
I'll take it all. I'll take
the first round draft grades 2 years from now. It's going to be filthy. Okay, but let's talk about people that could slide, that can see that Kenny Mack slide into the 7th, that can see that Big O slide into the 3rd, which, my gosh, who on this year's roster could see that when they become draft eligible next year, Daniel?
Well, I think you make the Kenny Mack reference, and I think you do start with Kendall Milton. I think Kendall Milton, and here's a question for you.
Okay.
Do both Kendall Milton and Dejan Edwards get drafted into the NFL next year?
No, I think Dejan gets
free agent contract.
Free agent contract, yeah. I think Milton does get drafted. I think Edwards gets a free agent contract.
I think they both get drafted, but I think they both get drafted in the 5th to 7th round.
Yeah,
I do think there's a slide. I do think there's carries involved, and I also think that there's just really good young running backs like Branson Robinson and Andrew Paul.
And I hate saying this, I really, really do. This is not. But if Kendall Milton gets nicked up this year, he's going to have stigma on him. The stigma coming into the draft will be what the draft guys always say. He's just banged up all the time. And the Big O crap that happened this year, just again, by the way, talk about how much we love Eagles. Go back and listen to the press conference of the head coach and Roseman when some jackwagon of a reporter asked about Jalen Carter's accountability. Listen to their response, because that was the appropriate response.
Absolute jonesing for a job at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
AJC
is what this man is.
Yep.
Unbelievable. The self-importance, the self-righteousness of some of these questions that get asked.
I know what's accountable, and he's not it. By the way, hey, thanks $1.99 for being here. We appreciate you.
Thanks. You are accountable. $1.99. You're accountable to this podcast. We appreciate it. I'm not saying you're making great choices in life. I'm just telling you how it is. Who else might slide, Clint? I gave you the running backs. Who you got?
I think, well, the easiest, the just right now, if he shows out like he did, or what we think he does, Carson Beck could promote himself. So I guess the weird thing is this is a slide because of expectation. He hasn't done anything yet, but you want to talk about boom or bust. We can go from, we can have a JD Daniels round 2 situation on our hands this season, or we can have a top 3, top 4 pick. Like, that's the spectrum.
Yeah, that's why it makes me very nervous to start even speculating that Carson Beck could go in the first round, because
so that's not really a slide.
Again, G-Day's a far cry from actual football.
I hear you. We've been down that road many a times.
And yet, did you see G-Day this year?
And did you see
when he just
when he did one of those over the top to Brock, and he just
You remember that time Will Levis threw a deep ball for a completion?
Oh my gosh.
Nope, me either.
Nope, I can't.
Okay.
The other JDJ does have a chance to slide because of what you said, the measurables. He is going to be the best linebacker, but measurables and crap, whatever.
I actually think we might get to the NFL draft, and and when I say slide, I want to be clear.
Please specify for the people.
I don't mean out of the first round.
Because just so you fully aware, Bama fans listening.
Bet your house.
Right. You bet your house JDJ's going in the first round. He's sliding.
No. I'm sorry. I'm setting up my
Okay, I understand.
take.
I understand. Thank you.
When I say this person might slide, I don't mean out of the first round.
Okay.
But I think there's a reasonable chance that Brock Bowers could go at the tail end of the first round. I really do think that there's a reasonable chance that Brock Bowers might slide out of where we feel he should be drafted, which is the first pass catcher. There's a reasonable chance that he might slide down to the tail end.
Do you realize how many, quote, pass catching, that Kincaid kid from Utah went midway through the first round, which is laughable because Brock is better than him today.
Oh, good Lord. Everyone would say Brock Bowers is better than him today. But you're going to get some things about his size.
Yeah.
You're going to get some things about, does he have the physicality necessary?
Really playing next to Big O and Oscar Delp really promoted him. I mean, guys were open all the time, and that offense that really just tailors to tight ends.
It's going to be, you're going to hear a lot. You're going to hear a lot of things.
People say things, Daniel.
People love to say things. They do love.
And it means nothing most of the time. They move their lips and just a bunch of gibberish.
Bunch of nothing comes out of it.
About Brock.
We've got lots more exciting stuff for you later in the week. Lots more to talk about this team. We're gonna try to have some guests on. We got a few folks in the woodwork. Some people that we think you'll be interested to hear from.
We don't want to keep them in the woodwork.
No, if they get caught up in the woodwork for too long, I mean, that just can't be comfortable. Splinters in there, all manner of what all. This is the Locked On Bulldogs podcast, your team every day. Thanks so much, and we will be back tomorrow.
See ya.